college campus, a place for social interactions, bustling bodies, and friendly faces. That is, until March 2020, when the global pandemic caused people around the world to socially distance from one another. Between mask wearing and standing 6 feet apart, how can anyone connect? More importantly, how can anyone connect and find love? In this digital age, there are a million and one ways to meet and connect with someone. But where do you begin? Where do you find love? Through all the ups and downs, is love still out there? Is love still contagious? We will follow the journey of students as they explore what it takes to date as a college student during the pandemic. They will be experimenting with 3 different dating apps: Bumble, Facebook Dating, and OkCupid. Between virtual classes, working, and now online dating, these two have a lot on their plates. Their goal is to secure a date with a potential dating partner. Can they do it? Is love a simple DM or phone call away? Which of the 3 apps will prove to be the most successful for our participants? Only time will tell. With that being said, let's introduce our first guest. Meet Amani, a senior here at UNC Charlotte. She's a single Pringle hoping to find love in all of the right virtual places.
My name is Amani Macmillan. I'm 21 and I'm a senior at UNC Charlotte. I'm double majoring in criminal justice and philosophy. I'm the oldest of 3 daughters. So I'm very family oriented. So I love spending quality time with my family and friends, whether that's just sitting around joking and talking or that's just watching movies. I just love to have a good time. I am seeking a serious romantic relationship. I've been casually kind of like dating like in the past, and I just want more than that. I want something that's more serious, and I feel like today I feel like that's like just the norm, like to just be okay with dating casually because you just want to go with the flow. But I just want something different now. I'm looking for someone who's gonna challenge me, bring out like a different side of me. So someone who's gonna be kind of like the opposite of me. I'm more shy and reserved. So in a partner, I would want someone that's more like outgoing, spontaneous, and things like that to just kind of bring out a different side of me. Also, I just want someone who I can just laugh with and just be just completely like comfortable with, because I tend to be more serious and like kept together around certain people. So I just want someone who's just gonna make me comfortable with just being my true self. Have to have clear communication. So you have to be willing to communicate and not just run away when things get hard. Also being goal oriented and ambitious, wanting to do something with yourself. I think that's something that I really would want in a partner too. From this social experiment, I just really just want to get experience. I just want to take myself out of the box that I've been in for these past couple of years. I've tended to just date in similar like social groups or just people that I've known in my past. So I just want to step out of that and just be more comfortable getting to know people that I don't really know and just connecting like that. So I'm just excited for the experience that I'm going to get from this.
Lastly, meet Maya, a second-year graduate student at UNC Charlotte and a UNCC alum. She is on the market looking for a serious relationship and is no longer accepting anything less than that.
My name is Maya, pronouns she, her, hers. I am a current second year graduate student here at UNC Charlotte. I'm getting my master's in educational leadership. So working with students in the college realm, my main focus is really in housing and supporting Black women through their journey. So really fun stuff. I have a great time. I love working with students. I'm funny. I like to crack jokes. One thing, I'ma always tell a joke. Even if nobody laughs, I'ma be cracking up. I don't like being sad or miserable. So many good things in the world I can focus on, even when things are rough. Now that I'm out of college, I would like to settle down in a few years, kind of just be with one person, get to know them, grow with them, see their goals and challenge them, and hopefully they'll challenge me to be a better person. So definitely maybe a romantic relationship with a boyfriend. Maybe marriage down the road, but won't get there yet. Somebody who's understanding and wants me to better myself. They do not want me to be stagnant. They want me to become the best person I can be. So there's times when they are pushing me to be better, and hopefully they want me to do the same for them. Somebody who's want to have fun, try new things. Let's go hiking, let's go to the beach, let's go to a concert, and we don't know the artist. If you've never had Indian food, then we are going to an Indian restaurant tonight. Something that's different to make those memories. And somebody who's genuinely wanting to be invested in me and be with me versus just like, oh, I'm here for a good time, I know who they are, and then skedaddle. I want to actually be in a serious relationship. I'm not here for a friendship. I'm not here just for like a one night stand or anything like that. I'm actually here for something genuine. So learning how to be more intentional, knowing my boundaries, and just having a good time, learning from it.
Amani and Maya will now spend 2 weeks on 3 dating platforms to see if a successful date will come out of this. We will check in on them halfway through the experiment.
So the dating has been interesting, trying to like talk to people and things like that. For me, I guess the frustrations have been, guys not really being like engaging, I guess. I have things in my bio, but they really don't. I'll try to like ask questions to get things out of them, asking them to just tell me about themselves because, there's nothing that I could get from their bios. So I, come in where I'm trying to be engaging and ask these questions and things like that, but if I'm not getting back, and getting that back is kind of frustrating because it's like, are you really interested in me, or, why did you swipe right, or why'd you like me for? Why not just try to like get to know me at first? So the emotions that I've been dealing with, I'll start off with nervousness a little bit because on Bumble, they have it where the woman has to reach out first, has to make the first move. So that's been different for me, trying to come up with ways to engage or like start a conversation because I've just been used to not having to do that as much in the past. So that has been interesting for me. Like I, did some research and things like that before I started this process because like I kind of like to prepare myself or get myself, ready for things that, I don't really know about. So I was also having issues with kind of comparing myself because on the articles, the girls were just having like, witty like introductions or like making jokes and things like that, and I had to come to a point where I was like, that's not me. So I had to just get out of that mindset of, that's not you, but these are, tips to like help you do that. So I had to kind of get over that nervousness, and I don't feel as much nervousness at this point. It's been interesting to see, the kind of guys that are actually interested in me, and, it's almost been like a little bit unexpected because, I was like, oh, I didn't think those type of guys would be interested in me. I guess, I probably didn't think that they were interested because I guess I didn't really look at them myself in the past, so I just assumed, like, for example, like white guys. I didn't think white guys were really interested in me because I just had never really gotten that interest from them, and I just myself just wasn't looking at them either, so I just assumed, I was like, oh, they don't think I'm attracted to this tall black girl, like that's your that's your hair type thing. So it's been exciting to see, who's interested and things like that, and making like those type of like connections and having, some engaging conversations. So that's been a good thing. Right now, I am kind of connecting with the guy. We've been kind of, just talking about music, which is something that I'm like really interested in, and we've been kind of like sharing music with one another. So I feel like that is a possible connection for me. And he just seems like, really, just nice and just engaging. So I feel like this could be a potential match, but I'm not gonna put like all my eggs in one basket, like just be like, he's the one. But it does feel, pretty good. Like I feel like we're having pretty good conversation right now. So it seems possible, promising. On a scale from 1 to 10, I probably would rate this experience so far as a 7.5. And that's probably me being a little bit optimistic about the process too. Even though I've been dealing with some frustrating things and just dealing with guys that aren't really giving the interest that I would want, there's still like some possibilities that come with it too. So I'm kind of still hopeful about the whole process though.
So far the dating has been interesting, to say the least. I've matched with a few people, so that's cool. I've got hit up by a lot of people who are still in jail right now. They showed it on their profiles. Literally, you can see the jail, they were in the jail, some of their pictures like this. I'm locked down, but I'll be getting out soon, baby. That's literally what it says. But I've seen 2 or 3, and they all tried to match with me. The one thing I look at is The pictures, what do you show me in your photos? If the first thing I see is you holding a blunt or a bottle, or you just sitting on somebody's stoop, and I can tell you just do want something, that to me is a problem. Because you're telling me a lot by even wanting to say, this is the picture I'm going to show them. What are you saying with the picture? You can just tell they were, not only say raised, but raised. To know what it means to date somebody and what is something you should present if you want to date somebody. If a woman in that case was doing the same kind of pictures you were doing, would you swipe on her and say, yeah, that's somebody I want to be long term? And a lot of guys, it's actually not. So why would I want to be long term with you? Becomes the question. I think being overwhelmed is definitely a feeling and emotion I've had to deal with people. It's like you get a lot of responses like, oh, cool, but it's like they're not the responses you want. So you start overthinking like, okay, so this is just trash at this point with dating. But also reminding, it's just a small pool of people. And that's why I think it's nice to change the apps you go to. Cause I'm like, oh, wow, like with a jailbird, unfortunately, hitting you up on one app, let me go to another one to see what the options are. I think what's hard is having to have those conversations with people who want to keep talking and you're working. I've had that instance already with somebody who doesn't realize I have a full-time job and I'm still in school full-time. And I might be going to interviews, so I just can't be on the phone for 2 hours straight because that's what they tried to do. They were just like, hey, can I call? And they talked to me for 2 hours. And they were like, oh, you better go to bed? I said, yes. It's 1 o'clock. I would like to get some sleep. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Did I? No. You can tell he has nothing else going on because you have too much time to be talking to me. And then him falling and saying I was the one, and he knew I was going to be his wife. It was like a day after that phone call. He was like, I want you to know I know you're the one for me. You're the woman I've been praying for. So it's been overwhelming, but some close calls were like, oh, but not yet. So I think it's been a really good growth that's came with it. Like, wow, like I'm not the same girl I used to be. I used to sell for certain stuff. Wow, I really be swiping left a lot. But it's a lot of growth with it. I wish I would have got some more hits, but I'm not discouraged. In due time.
It is now the end of the 2 weeks. Were Amani or Maya able to go on a date? Were they able to find the spark that might lead to love? Join us in the final countdowns of this experiment.
The big question is, were you able to land a date in these past 2 weeks?
No. Even when I thought it was going to be successful, it fell through, whether it was weather, some random circumstance, or the guy might have been really creepy and they were wishing we had a date, but I just didn't feel comfortable. So, didn't get anywhere with the date, actual physical dating, whether it's virtual or physical.
I was not able to land a date. I just never, got to that point with any of the guys that I was talking to where I felt like maybe that would be something that they were interested in. I guess we were more in the intro type phase, so I wasn't able to land a date. But I feel like maybe if I had 1 more week, maybe I could have done it. But
I feel okay. I'm actually kind of content. I know that I did everything. I brought my authentic self to it. And obviously it wasn't meant to be, and my time's still not wasted. So I feel okay. It does suck to a certain degree, but that's part of dating. You have some wins, you have some loses. Obviously mine were a few more losers than I would have expected, but I'm still content. I know that whoever's been for me is still on their way.
what I'm more open to now, I've been noticing that I've been being liked by a lot of guys that are more country, I guess, or into country music and hunting and really outdoorsy type guys. So I'm noticing I'm trying to be more open to that, even though that's not something that I was interested in the past. But it's kind of if they find an interest in me, maybe I should be more open to that as well. Especially if I don't have a good reason for not liking it. So I guess I've been more open to that.
There are some things I realize I don't like. At first, I guess because my past, I hate people don't text and communicate a lot. But then I had somebody who was communicating too much to the point I felt like I couldn't breathe. And I realized I don't want somebody who's clingy. I need a medium to where it's consistent talking, but it's not they're always talking to me like they don't have a job. Or you're not texting me at all. To where it's okay, you're not interested. So I would say definitely the clinginess. I thought I wanted that for whatever reason. But I don't. Please don't be clingy. Please be busy.
So the app that I think I had the most success on was Bumble. Bumble really challenged me, but I also feel like I found the best kind of like matches for me on there, and it also brought in some versatility, in guys and things like that. So I feel like with the guys that I was talking on there with, like I actually had the most kind of connection with. But I'll say like the second one would have to probably be Facebook dating, because I felt like there were some. Maybe like one or two guys that actually were kind of like engaging.
The app I had the most success on, which I feel like it's probably the worst one because the people that attracted to me, was Facebook dating. Surprisingly, that's the one I got the most hits on, but also I would say that app had the most black men up there. So that also I think played a role why I had the most hits on it. Versus on the other apps, it was more Caucasian and Asian and more middle upper who were up there, and that obviously I wasn't what they were looking for. But yeah, Facebook dating apparently was a hit. I think OkCupid and Bumble were better when it came to the on paper check marks of who I was looking for. Facebook dating had more people who I might have physically been more attracted to, but they just didn't check all the boxes. So it wasn't discouraging. I feel like I'm still encouraged. I'm like, wow, there's somebody out there.
My big takeaways probably would be not overthinking, just having fun, not thinking that every guy that you're going to talk to is going to be the one or somebody that you're going to end up in a relationship. So just enjoying like the conversation that I'm having as well. Continuing to be myself and just strong and confident in who I am.
Some advice I would give to the young romantics: keep trying, keep having those conversations. You don't lose anything from having a conversation. See what is out there and learn what you do and don't want.
Don't expect everything to kind of like happen so quickly. If you come in with the right mindset, I feel like it is definitely possible to find love in a pandemic and love online. You just gotta, take the time and just, be open.